Welcome to Techstination. Joining us is David Leong, Public Relations Manager at Kingston Technology. Thanks for joining us again, David.
Thank you, Fred. Great to see you as always.
Great to see you, and you've got some new stuff to talk to us about. New ways for people to store their data.
Really, we do. We think that this is kind of the beginning of a transition from SATA SSDs to PCIe NVMe. And what we're doing is we came out with a really, really fast NVMe SSD back in March, April, called our KC2000. And then we're going to launch in early August, kind of the little cousin to it, if you will. This is our A2000 drive. And the A2000 it's NVMe Gen 3 by 4. Basically what that means is it'll go 2,200 megabytes per second read, 2,100 write, 3 times faster than a SATA SSD. Now the difference between our two NVMe drives is basically, NVMe uses a little bit more power than SATA, and it gives off more heat than SATA SSDs. So with an A2000, it's single-sided, meaning the controller and the chips are all on one side, so it's super thin, goes up to a terabyte, and it's a little bit slower than its older cousin, the KC2000. It's perfect for laptops. That's it.
And that's where we're seeing this technology end up today, primarily, right?
It really is, because we've been at SATA Gen 3 for 6, 7, 8, 9 years, somewhere around there, and there won't be a Gen 4. So if you want higher performance, where do you go? PCIe is the natural place for it, because every computers have always had PCIe ports on there. The original design of a PCIe port, it was meant for like a printer. The P in PCIe stands for peripheral. So it could be a printer, it could be a hard drive, like an external hard drive. It could be a camera, that type of thing. Well, everything kind of went USB for that. And so what to do with the PCIe slot? The PCIe slot is physically closer to on the motherboard, physically closer to the processor. And that means by its very own architecture, it's faster. So then the engineering gods that they are, not Kingston, this is the industry, the people that developed the standards thought, okay, we can use and take advantage of PCIe for two things. Graphics cards, because graphics need to be processed very, very fast. And also we can do it for SSD. There's no more there won't be a SATA Gen 4, but PCIe NVMe will go 3 to 4 times faster than SATA.
And is there more of a limit because of the form factor and how much storage you can create here?
So a couple of things. So on our A2000 drive for laptops, single-sided, everything in a laptop is kind of crammed into a very, very tiny space. We can't put chips on both sides because it'd be too thick for the physical spot in most laptops. Therefore, the A2000 is holding at 1 terabyte. If you have a desktop and you want to upgrade your desktop computer, or if you have like a NAS box, that type of thing that takes PCIe, KC2000 will work perfectly because there's space to put it in there, and we make that up to 2 terabytes. The other limitation too is that PCIe SSDs and graphics cards draw from the same lanes in a computer. So in most cases, that's usually not a limitation, but if more lanes are in use and if they're engaged, that can cause some slowdowns. But that type of worry is maybe for the workstation, for the person that's doing that works in maybe the film industry, that uses, maybe they have 2 graphics cards on their system and a bunch of NVMe SSDs. That's when you worry about that. But like, you and me, we're upgrading our computer, don't worry about it.
Tell us about pricing. What should we know?
Sure, and that's the other big driver, right? So for anything to be sold in higher quantities and to be more attractive to consumers, price has to drop. We're at a time and space right now where NAND prices are dropping a lot, and there will be a crossover between SATA and NVMe, PCIe NVMe this year. So if we're a customer, we're a consumer faced with, I want to upgrade my laptop, I want to upgrade my desktop, I have NVMe, my computer is capable of PCIe NVMe. My question is, the question that we have to ask ourselves is, do we want to upgrade to a SATA drive, or do we want something that's 3 or 4 times faster, and they're virtually the same price? It becomes a kind of a no-brainer at that stage.
Very cool. For more info, where do we go?
Kingston.com.
We knew that. David Leong, thanks for taking the time with us.
Thank you, Fred.
Now this. How many companies out there have continued to innovate when it comes to building a better radio? I'm Fred Fishkin, host of Techstination, and I'm here to tell you about the new CC Skywave SSB radio from the wonderful people at C-Crane. Bob and his crew really love radio, and it shows in this new compact model that is packed with features. Beyond great AM and FM reception and sound, you can tune into shortwave signals from around the world, listen to ham radio operators, aviation, and more. It's the radio you'll turn to every day, and in emergencies. It will run for nearly 3 days on just 2 AA batteries. Pair the sleep timer with the new Soft Speaker 3, and you've got the perfect radio for your nightstand. Of course, it can wake you up too. Click on C-Crane at Techstination.com and put in the code Techstination for a free flashlight with your order. They love radio, and you'll love C-Crane.